Welcome everyone to a casted game for Age of Empires 4, and today spawning in the west side of the map, playing in blue. It's blue, but it's also beastyqt playing as the Order of the Dragon, and his opponent in the south playing in red. We've got lucifron 7 playing as the French. Welcome everyone to Frisian Marshes. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Holy moly, that's a lot of sheep. And to be fair, it's expected on Frisian Marshes. I gotta say, like, despite my name, my gamer tag, I love this map. You're not going to see that many farms usually because there's so many sheep, so many shore fish to get. This is very much about meat rather than wheat on this map, but I love it nonetheless. And the reason why is because both players are very close to each other, and gold is always an issue. It's a really contestable spot. Gold is a little bit of a tricky situation, a sticky situation in this matchup. French obviously do love their gold digging. They need the gold for the knights, of course. Something's got to pay for the armor. We've got the Order of the Dragon, which look incredible. If you look at their armor, it looks like it's made out of gold. And I'm pretty excited for this matchup. Beasty versus lucifron. Lucifron just getting the lay of the land with the sheep. I wonder if we're going to see any Dark Age shenanigans. Sometimes you do see the Order of the Dragon opening up a spearman, but nothing crazy just yet. Now, one of the reasons why I love this map is because it does encourage players to move out onto the map. And I feel like in many ways it does suit civilizations like the French, Jeanne d'Arc, the Rus, the civils that need to push out, or want to push out, or can push out. Have the aggression, get map control, get the free resources on the map. Fortune favors the brave, they say. And on this map, if you're brave enough, you go for the shorefish. One thing that's going to be kind of interesting to see is how Beasty addresses that. The Order of the Dragon, not the fastest civilization to get on the map. They don't, they have very powerful units, but because of that, they have minimum numbers. They don't have huge numbers of them. They're so expensive. Each one of them are so beefy. What matters is the positioning of those units on this map. You want to be raiding. You want to be looking at multiple areas, attacking multiple areas, and that's a bit of a problem for the Order of the Dragon. I want to see if the French can take advantage of that. So I hope you guys are having a great morning, good afternoon. As I said earlier, I just want to say as well, especially, a very big thank you for everyone supporting the channel, whether it be on Twitch and YouTube. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I would like to say as well, I do have a subscriber goal of about 11,000. Should we say 12,000? We should go 12,000 for the end of the year, hopefully, on YouTube. So if you guys do enjoy the content on YouTube, make sure you are subscribed. I say as a rule of thumb, hey, look, if you've watched maybe three or four of my casted games, I think it's a good indication you like the content. Make sure you subscribe. It's a free way to support the channel. And hopefully then I can work on getting some sponsorships. We shall see what we can do. It's going to be the Minework Palace for Beasty and the Order of the Dragon, understandably so. On the other side, it's going to be the School of Cavalry. Alright. Now, guys, on Twitch, I will refund those points, don't worry. Unfortunately, when I'm casting games, it shouldn't actually be popping up, and to be fair, it shouldn't actually be even allowing you to select them. So that shouldn't be happening. Apologies for that. I don't redeem anything, because I will return those funds. So if you're wondering what it's about, I do actually have memes on the Twitch side of things, which pop up when I'm playing Age of Empires 4, kind of usually FFA games. But on the live casts, I think it could bother the YouTube viewers a lot. Or it depends, really. If it's like a show match I'm doing as well, I guess I'm wanting to keep it a bit more professional on that side of thing if it's casting, but yeah, I'll refund those points. You can spam them out for sure during the games, in which case we may actually do some community games later, maybe get some FFA games, hopefully. We shall see. At least from getting to that feud late at a good time as you'd expect. And it's a very fast time as well when you consider he's on shorefish. The great thing about this map, the tempo that comes out of this is really fun, because on maps where you don't have shorefish, like, okay, you rely on sheep, blah, 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 deer camp sometimes, but the shorefish food comes in so fast, you pump out units very quickly. Obviously, you've got the School of Cavalry already producing, and I wouldn't be surprised to see another production building coming out for lucifron relatively soon. Needs the wood to do so. Having said, yeah, it's getting more villagers to wood, and that makes a lot of sense, right? You want to start adding in some more production. Will it be a second stable? Will it be an arch range? Kind of expect it to be an arch range, but you never know. The French with knights and mobility, it can be really powerful to have the mobility with knights, and we'll see what it can do. Especially when you're up against a civilization that has minimal numbers of units, I think there's more scope to go for a second stable for the French against the Order of the Dragon than any other civilization, right? Because you have spearmen, yeah, but they can only be in certain locations at a certain time. Use the movement speed of the knights to your advantage. Pull those spearmen out of position. Get into multiple areas of the map that your enemy is taking resources from. And it can work in your favour. Speaking of spearmen though, we're not going to see any spearmen just yet. Not for Beasty anyway. He's gone for horsemen. Here's barracks. Going to be opening up a spearman of his own here, the French. Alright, plenty of village and gold. Is Beasty thinking about a castle age? It could just be the case he's overmining it because he's concerned and paranoid that it might be focused off the gold. It could be an option. Interesting that he went for spearmen, I gotta say. I'm not sure how I like that because the thing is, it kind of then makes it a really nice move for Beasty to go for horsemen and archers. And gilded archers, I'd say the ranged units for the Order of the Dragon are their prized possession. They're incredibly strong. They scale incredibly well. You think about mass archers, they can do great work. They've got the ranged, obviously, component to their attack. Equally, going for crossbows, incredibly powerful if it does get to the castle age, especially late game, Imperial Age. Bodkin bolts. I mean, we may not get to the Imperial Age in this game, but it's an incredibly strong, powerful unit, the ranged units for the Order of the Dragon. So I think going for a spearman and barracks opening kind of forces, not forces, but it allows that transition to archers for the Order of the Dragon just to happen a little more smoothly, right? They'd be happy to do so. Now, surprisingly so, it's relatively passive. I think, yeah, Beasty is certainly looking to get that castle age at some point soon. The French, on the other hand, I wonder how lucifron's going to be planning this out because food income, it's not looking amazing for him, I gotta say. He's relying on sheep at this point. And I'm surprised to see that, actually. I mean, the other shorefish, to be fair, is pretty far out. But he's not looking to venture out too quickly. Horseman just running around. And I love this play by Beasty, by the way, because he recognizes that, and we're seeing it, how it's working out now. It's forcing French and lucifron back to his base for sheep, rather than being able to take out the shorefish. If Beasty actually opened up with the barracks and the spearmen, he'd just forever be on the defensive, at least for the first 10-15 minutes of the game, and that invites pressure. On the other hand, opening with a stable, it's forcing lucifron to think twice about going to the deer, to the shorefish. And it's actually worked out in his favour in a big way. It's forced lucifron onto sheep. I wish it has many, but it's a slower income of farms, of food rather. I just said farms. I've always got farms on my mind, guys. What can I say? 8 villagers building the Regates Cathedral. Could be looking to pick up some of those relics, and something lucifron needs to be careful about, be cognizant of, and try and defend the relic positions. Which, to be fair, with the number of units he has, should be okay. The concern for lucifron, though, is if he has an extended feudal age, it comes a tipping point, right? So the Order of the Dragon, going to the castle age, you have premium units. You'll be able to get the Gilded Knights out, and you know, those are hard to deal with. That's for sure. Horseman diving in, spearman braces, and the thing is, these are Gilded Horsemen, so I don't think one spearman's going to cut it. When I say think, I know it's not going to cut it. Down he goes. The archer will definitely not fare well out of that fight if he took it. The second spearman, though, when it comes to a position where Beasty doesn't necessarily need to engage, might just head back home and repair. Looks like it's going to be an all-in play for lucifron. Okay, here it is. We see the lay of the lands. We see how this game's going to pan out. It's very much about Beasty's ability to defend up against lucifron's French aggression. I gotta say, though, if there's one player that has an incredibly great propensity to be able to defend effectively, it is Beasty. Bear in mind, with the Order of the Dragon, they have emergency repairs, so this is going to buy time. That's all he needs. Beasty, now into the castle age, he just needs some premium units. Will he go for Man at Arms? It probably makes sense to go for Gilded Knights, because ultimately, that's what he can get at the moment. He doesn't have the wood for... Well, he's going to get barracks now, but he didn't have the barracks built up just yet, so he needs to pump out units quick time. And then adding in a couple of Man at Arms could be devastating. It's going to come down to heavy amounts of micro. The problem for Beasty is going to run out of access to gold potentially. But look at this. Has he got any units here? Yeah, he's done it. Sneaky. This is what he needs to do. He needs to maintain access of gold, and this, guys, this is critical. These 5 villagers is probably going to be the difference-making concept. Yeah, basically the difference maker in this game. If Beasty wins this game, it's going to be because of these 5 villagers. There's no doubt about it. trouble is, he needs units. He needs it fast. The villagers aren't mining gold just yet. Now, I wonder where the Beastie will play some mind games, actually. Something it could do is, and it's really sneaky, it's a bit of a wood investment, but if he drops a market, he might fool lucifron into thinking, hey, I'm actually not on gold. I'm trading for it. It's 150 wood investment. It could be worth it. Because if lucifron does spot this position, it might be game over. lucifron riding in with the knights, pushes the guild knight away. This guy is a chunky boy, holy moly. Talks about gold importance for the Order of the Dragon. You can see it here. Gold on the armor. Now, if you guys are watching in 4K on TVs and whatnot on your monitors, make sure you crank it up. Absolutely love the graphics in Age of Empires 4. God, that guy got demolished. Now, lucifron not feeling too confident pushing in just yet. He's going to need rams, right? He needs more. He definitely needs more siege. He's got 1 ram on the field so far. Oh, he did it. He did it. Look at this. He built the market. I've seen him do this before, actually. This is such a sneaky play. It's so smart. It's mind games. It's such a classic one as well. Beasty's advertising. He's saying, look, I don't have gold. I have to trade for it. But he won't even need to because he's got gold income on the right side. It's such a smart play by Beasty. We've seen players do this sort of thing before. One thing that comes to mind is Corvinus's play as the HRE and was it the HRE? Oh, it was the Marlians. It was Marlians and trading. He didn't go for the trade landmark, but he still traded with the Marlians, and he made sure he had a couple of villages on gold to fool his enemy to thinking that he's gathering gold and not trading. He kept the trade in the background, and it won him the game. The same way here, Beasty. He's keeping these 5 villages alive purely by getting this market. Fooling lucifron to thinking, hey, I'm trading for gold, I'm not mining it. Little does lucifron know. Beasty is mining. And the positioning of this market is very purposeful as well. It's clearly not for trade. It's clearly there to advertise. But he's advertising. What he's advertising is just a ruse. Alright, knights, spearmen, archers, everything you can think of for lucifron is going to go for a timing attack, but it isn't all in play, so you can see the game perhaps panning out in the sense that it's going to finish in the next 10 minutes or so, 10-15 minutes, because I think if lucifron doesn't kill his enemy in the next 10-15 minutes, it should be the case that Beasty has a great response. Now, one thing to consider, his stone access is not great, so he can't really get emplacements in terms of outposts, which is unfortunate as the Order of the Dragon. It's something that they'd love to do, especially when you factor in emergency repairs. You can get springboard emplacements. It's incredibly powerful. Now, technically, he could buy stone, but he doesn't have the gold income he needs. And the stone outcropping, just too far to be able to mine it. Plenty of spearmen there for Beasty. The archers could pose a bit of a problem, so I wouldn't be surprised to see a couple of man-at-arms. Maybe it's not going to get any crossbows, doesn't have the archer range for it. Behind this, interestingly enough, though, lucifron is going to go for the guild hall. Okay, so he is edging towards that castle age. He wants to tech up and then go. Question is, has this allowed too much time for Beasty to be able to escalate his economy? What it has allowed lucifron to do, though, is to now venture out into the shorefish. One thing to bear in mind as well, that tech up to the castle age never actually managed to transpire into getting any relics for Beasty. It's a significant thing. At least for now in the castle age, I wonder if almost Beasty would want to push out actually before the upgrades come on in. He might feel comfortable just hanging out though. Sniping a village on the wood line, good wrap around. Oh, nice. No, lucifron, don't engage. He's going to lose a knight for free. It's not what he needs right now. He needs to wait for the upgrades to come on in. Spearman pushing out. Yeah, Beasty. He wants access to gold again, maybe. He's picking up a relic. That's huge, actually. He gets an outpost. That is another big staging ground to mount a defense. It's massive. It doesn't seem like a lot, but having an outpost like this, it turns a fight. If lucifron dives on in, which I'm sure he will at some point, these outposts with the relics inside of them, with emplacements, if they do get them, they're incredibly powerful. Lucifron giving Beasty a bit of breathing space. Not so sure about that. You can understand from Lucifron's perspective, right? He wants the upgrades. He doesn't want to fight just yet, but now might be the time. The French Knight's about to charge on in. Beasty, though, is getting in position. Lucifron says, we'll group together, we'll take one big fight. Spearmen, archers, knights on the left, archers on the right. Now behind them, spearmen behind them too. Charges on in, he's going to engage. Beasty gets the spearman in ready, in position. He charges, he takes the fight. Good nailment of those two knights. God, those spearmen do so much damage. Almost just one hits them. Gilded Archer's getting a lot of value, by the way. Ram going on in. We could try and break down some of the income, food income. It's a fight that Beasty possibly should be winning. I mean, it's a tricky one. Knight number's not looking too great anymore. In the meantime, round the back, it looks like a bit of a raid. There it is. The cavalry rode on in. Village gathering gold. It's been taken care of, though, lucifron. So he mounts a bit more of a response in the middle. See 5 village garrison inside the outpost, doing all sorts of damage. Gilded Archers have to back away. Now, they're still doing decent damage against veteran knights, would you believe? If you take down that knight, I mean, lucifron's running out of steam. He doesn't have enough here. He can't dive this. He's only got one ram. The ram's going to be torched by villagers. This is a massive hold for Beasty. There's still units trickling on in, but the number of Gilded Archers that's remaining here for the Order of the Dragon and Beasty, it's enough. It's more than enough. And those 5 villagers, they've been mining away for a long time. They have been supplying the economy with gold. And that gold might be what sees them through the game. Lucifron has to find another attack. The concern is that first attack, it didn't do enough damage, not nearly enough damage. I think the trade was definitely in Beasty's favour. Now, the great thing for the French, by the way, their economy do scale. They do have, only 17 seconds to make a villager. So it certainly helps scale the economy. That's one of the reasons why they benefit from an extended feudal age, but now we are talking castle age. The concern for Lucifron now, he's actually on the back foot. It's a pendular action, right? We're seeing the pendulum swing. Now with a second relic being picked up and a third too. Gold income is going to be actually looking really good for Beasty with those relics in play. Beasty, he's been able to hold on. Lucifron just not been able to break down those defenses. That could come down to haunt him. Production is ramping up. He did go up the guild halls, so late game could be okay. He spotted up the gold villagers, but they've been mining for a while, and whilst he spotted this, I mean, what that's gonna do two things. It's gonna make him commit some more units to take that out, possibly. But the bigger thing is that if he does that, it thins his army out on the front, and Beasty's had enough time to find alternative sources of gold. His economy is a lot more sustainable now with the Regent's Cathedral and 2 relics. Possibly a third coming on in very soon. How's it going, LC Driver? Welcome on in, dude. Hope you're doing well, buddy. In Twitch chat. Oh, Knight sniping a villager. Good pick off, though. Yeah, we talked about the power of the ranged units from the Order of the Dragon, and Beasty putting them on full display. He's even got the prelates, by the way. This is significant for healing, but also with good inspired warriors upgrade. He hasn't got it, actually, to be fair. I would love to see that come on in. Oh, well, hello. It won't happen. Prelate does go down. So isn't able to get that third relic, but 2 relics is great. And now at this point, he's able to get access to this gold here. How's it going to ghosty me out? I think, yeah, there should be 5 relics on the map. Yeah, there's 5 relics. I mean, there's 3 already in the bank. 2 for Beasty, 1 for lucifron, and there's 2 here. Heading into the 20th minute of the mark of the game. I mean, the French have to move on in. They have to do something in the next 5 minutes. Otherwise, the game will be forfeit. In fact, Beasty going to get that 3rd relic in the end, most likely, it seems. He's pushing on in. He's got a good number of archers. Diving on with the spearmen. Mangonel in the stealth forest. Try to get an outpost as a staging ground to attack a lucifron. Beasty responds in kind. Gets an outpost of his own. He's on stone as well for some placements. Oh no, the spearmen though, they're being thrown away. That's not what lucifron wants. I mean, to be fair, there's no cavalry anyway, but still throwing away units just before a big fight is not ideal. He's going to ride in with cavalry now as we speak. Mangonel's behind. On the right side, Knights lurking. Always looking to do damage, but emplacements coming in there will protect him. On the right side, oh god, well, the village on gold pushed away. Gold could become a problem. Keeping a relic inside there with the prelate. Mangonel deploys against the archers. Doesn't hit, doesn't land. Beasty with the spring on the placement in the outpost now. It's looking finely poised. I'm not convinced lucifron has enough, but at the same time, a Mangonel shot here or there could change things. And we can't underestimate the power of that outpost with the spring on the placement. Speaking of springald, there's a springald out. That's something that lucifron needs to try and challenge. He won't want to lose the Mangonels for free. He engages, Mangonels deploy. Good shot on the backline archers, but look how little damage they take. It's a problem. Knight dives on in, loses a Mangonel here, lucifron. Another Mangonel shot on the archers, but they barely get tickled. It's incredible how little Mangonels do to those gilded archers. They're such strong units. Gilded archers absolutely sniping the Knights away. And the French having to back away, not for the first time in the game. Man-at-Arms tanking that front line, bearing the brunt of all those French archers, and it doesn't seem like it's going to be enough here for lucifron. He's backing away, but what is he back into? Backing into the stealth forest, and the push out for Beasty is looking good. He's going to torch down those outposts. There's nothing to contest that. Does have a springald of his own here, lucifron. Knights charging on in. Man-at-Arms are being healed up by the prelates. Man-at-Arms attacking that front line. Knights going to go down to the archers. They're being peppered. And this is a problem. This pushback from the Ottomans, for the OOTD by Beasty is just way too much. lucifron taps out. A great game of Age of Empires 4 on frisian marshes. beastyqt showcasing a great way to play as the OOTD. And those villagers on the right side of the map, they bailed him out of a pinch. I hope you guys enjoyed this cast of the game on YouTube. If you did, make sure you give the video a thumbs up. Take care, and see you next time.